Hello, my name is Zara Hoffman. I'm a self-published author of young adult paranormal romance and soon-to-be new adult sci-fi romance. And in today's video, I'm going to be tackling Natalie Locke's Assumptions Tag, in which she asked herself 11 questions and wrote down her answers and then saw how good she was at predicting her future behavior. I have done the same thing, and I am opening this a few days late. I told myself I would open this on the 27th, so it would be it would be a week and a half actually since I wrote it, but it is now the 30th, so it's a little bit longer. And either way, I don't think I predicted myself very well, but we will see. There are 11 questions in this tag, and the first one is, how will I feel? I predicted on the 12th that I would feel renewed after Christmas and excited for 2021. That is half correct. I have felt bursts of energy and productivity like today, where I'm filming multiple videos at once, and I wrote over 2,000 words in my novel 3 days ago at this point, and I've written over 1,000 words in the 2 days following that, which normally never happens, but I'm also very tired and lethargic since Christmas and feeling burnt out in the periods that I'm not being super productive. So I'm going to say I'm half correct. I am definitely excited for 2021 though, so that part is absolutely correct. So I'm going to give myself partial credit for this question. Number 2, what's the last playlist you'll have listened to? I don't listen to playlists. I haven't listened to a playlist since I was in high school, which was like 5.5 years ago at this point. I mostly listen to albums. I'll pick a musical theater album and then just listen through it. So my prediction was that I will have listened to the Hades Town soundtrack because I recommended it to Helene Foy and Maddie Monahan, who are two Authortubers who are writing Hades and Persephone retellings. And when I found that out, I recommended this musical to them because they also like musicals. So I've been watching a lot of their live streams recently, and every time I do, it brings the musical back to my mind. But I haven't actually listened to the music. I've only heard it in my head. So I wasn't even going to say I got it correct on that. But then yesterday, the last music I actually listened to was Allie and AJ's recently released explicit version of Potential Breakup Song. So I got this wrong, 100%, if you go by what I actually listened to. Number 3 is, what is a treat that you have finished and not gotten more of, either by choice or because you haven't had the chance? That is Toblerone chocolate for me, because I'm trying to cut down on the amount of sugar I'm consuming in 2021. I have a lot of sugary treats that I'm finishing before 2021 starts in 2 days or a day. I've never known how to count that, but basically I'm trying to finish all my sugar now, but I'm not buying any more sugary stuff. Number 4 is, what will you have accomplished? I predicted that I would be done revising my book Obscure Origin, which comes out on January 5th. I finished it pretty much right after I wrote these predictions, so that was absolutely true. And then I predicted that I will have finished 2 chapters of Bitter Blood, and that is not true, because I have written 1 full chapter and I've written roughly 1/4 of the 2nd chapter. Number 4 is, how much sleep did I get last night? I predicted that I will have gotten 8 hours of sleep, and I went to sleep at 11 and woke up at 6, so I got 7 hours, which is still pretty good for me, but it is technically wrong according to this thing. I am trying to start waking up at 6 a.m. every morning, and I have been doing that for the past few days, so even though my hours of sleep prediction is wrong, I am happy. I was asked to predict how many videos I would be currently editing. I guess 2. I'm currently editing 1, but the next question is, what am I going to be wearing for this video? And I said my hair would be down and I'd be wearing a sweater and sweatpants, and I am. I'm not going to show you my sweatpants, but I am. So I know myself well enough to know what I'm going to wear. I had predicted that I will have consumed a full 32 ounces of water by the time I film this, and that is false. I haven't drunk any water today, which isn't healthy. I need to fix that right after I finish filming this, but I got that question wrong. What is a habit I will have done every single day? I predicted right. I missed one day, so technically I was wrong about this, and I should have said brush my dog's teeth because then I would have had this question right. But I did a lot of writing, like I mentioned a bit earlier, and I'm very happy with the amount of writing I've done. What is a habit that I will have stopped? I said picking at my skin. That is false, as you can see up here. I was doing really well, and then I picked last night, so that sucks. I almost could have said yes, that this was correct, and I didn't. But my goal is, for the next few days and for the new year to not pick at my skin. And lastly, what is the last thing you did for yourself? I would say play with my dog, spend time with my dog, walk my dog, whatever. Just spending time with her. She's really cute. She's a great de-stressor, and I love her. And lastly, I'm going to tag Keylin Rivers, Kahilah Harry, Kate Cavanaugh, and Kelli Wright. They are 4K Authortubers that I thought of, and I think that they would have fun doing this video. I was also tagged in the Wright Mama's 2020 takeaway tag by Kelli Wright when she did her video. I will leave both of them linked in a card up above and down below. The questions are categorized into 3 different sections by writing, Authortube, and personal, so I will be doing each of those now. The first question for writing is, what did you work on in 2020? 2020 felt like a decade on its own, so I'm going to try and remember everything I worked on without having to look at my Millwordy spreadsheet, because that only helps starting in September. But I know I worked on and finished Taming the Alpha, which was the 3rd and final book in my young adult paranormal romance trilogy, The Belgrave Legacy. It released on May 7th, and then I know in April I started writing Obscure Origin, which I finished in July's Camp NaNoWriMo, and that is being published January 5th, 2021, which I'm very excited for. The link to pre-order that book is linked down below as well. And since then, I have also worked on the sequel to Obscure Origin, Bitter Blood. I haven't gotten very far into it, but it is still 2020, so I have worked on it. I went back to working on the matchmakers for NaNoWriMo 2020 in November, and in July's Camp Nano, I had also started working on Free Falling, which is the first book in a new adult contemporary romance trilogy that I have planned around a dating app. I believe those are all the projects so far. I probably had like snippets of scenes that I was writing down for some of my other story ideas. There are 40 in total, and I will be making a video going through all of them in the new year, but I have already made a video about how I find story ideas, and I will leave that linked in a card and down below. How would my protagonist react to the craziness of 2020? The protagonists in Taming the Alpha are both werewolves, and Dylan would probably be very concerned about like following social distancing rules, and I think Zelda would too, but I think Zelda would be more pissed at people who weren't following the rules, whereas Dylan would just be focused on what he can do himself. They live with a lot of other people in like a giant lodge type house scenario. So I think it would be hard for them to like actually do social distancing, except when they were in human form and like interacting with other non-supernatural people in New Orleans. But because everything would probably be shut down, I don't think they would actually have to deal with it that much, because they would just be at home with their packs and, hanging out in human form or in wolf form, and then not having to deal with the virus at all, really. For Obscure Origin, Verity's reaction would be like, follow the rules. Her dad is military, and technically Air Force, but he's military, and she grew up with a bunch of rules, so I think she would also be very much like, do what's best for everyone and yourself, just wear a freaking mask. And I'm trying to think. I think Knox as an alien looking down on the planet, if he even, like, you know, once he heard about it, would probably be amused by, like, how crazy it's made the whole world, and appalled but amused by how stupid and reckless people can be, and also maybe heartwarmed by, like, the good things that people have been doing for their communities and things like that. What is a writing lesson you will carry over into 2021? Write every day, even if it's a little bit. I do really want to take that to heart. I have had 0 word count days that I could have easily turned into 5, which might have rolled into, you know, 50 or 100 or 200 word days. And I think taking days off from writing, I think is, you know, I don't think it's a bad thing, but I think for me, when I get out of writing, even if it's just for a single day, it takes longer to get into writing the next day. So if I can do a little bit of writing every single day, I think I'd really like to do that. And I've been doing pretty well on that for the month of December. So I want that to continue and be better in 2021. What is your favorite quote you wrote or read this year? I think that my favorite quote that I wrote this year is, "I can't empathize with your situation, but I can accept that's part of who you are." It's talking about someone's sexuality in my story, but I think it can just be applied to everything, you know? Like, you don't necessarily need to completely understand what someone else is going through to be able to accept them. And I think the world could use a lot more of that. Okay, and that's the end of the writing section. Now we're moving on to the Authortube section. What is something you did on your channel in 2020 that you are proud of? Well, I started my channel, so I guess that would be the first thing I would say, but I guess the second thing I would say is I started live streaming. I made the decision pretty early on, but it was something that I was nervous about because being on camera without editing, it was a little bit scary to me, but in some ways I almost like it better than filming these sit-down videos, so I'm really happy I made that choice. What ways did you and your channel grow this year? I've gotten a lot more comfortable with public speaking thanks to this channel, and I've made a lot of friends, and those friends have helped me grow and learn that, you know, what good friendships look like, because I didn't have that growing up. So I've definitely grown a lot in, like, confidence and making friendships and having fun. And my channel has grown from 0 before I launched it to 683 when I checked it 3 minutes ago. I'm not doing this for subscribers, but I really do enjoy seeing the number go up, so that's really fun to think that I've grown so much in such a short amount of time. What other channels brought you joy? They don't have to be Authortube. I'm going to say the non-Authortube ones first because I think they're going to be at the top of my head. So I'm going to say the Super Carlin Brothers, Amanda Rach Lee's bullet journaling. I also really love the Try Guys, although I've been watching them a little bit less in December than I was throughout the year. I also really love the 4 Amigops who do a bunch of Twitch streaming. That is a name that applies to 4 different streamers, so I will name them now. Saikuno, Valkyrie, Corpse Husband, and Toast. I love their videos. I also watch Foozly and Pokimane also, but the 4 Amigops are the ones that I really go for. I'll post a cute illustration of them up on screen here. And I think that's all that I really watch on YouTube that's not Authortube related in 2020, or like tutorials for like StreamYard and now Streamlabs OBS, because I'll be switching over to that in 2021. And yeah, so let's move into the Authortuber ones. Keylin Rivers, Autumn Ashley, Maddie Monahan, Helene Foy, Brie Bonomo, Kahilah Harry, Kelli Wright, Jordan Fegan, RP Lenny, Moon Bunny Creative, Kate Cavanaugh, obviously, Grapefry, Natalie Locke, and I know I'm missing people, and if I missed you, I'm so sorry. I watched so many people at this point that remembering all their names is a little bit difficult. And that is the last question of the Authortube section. For the personal questions, there are, again, only 3, like the Authortube ones. The first question is, what new passions or hobbies did you pick up in 2021? I can't say that I picked up a new hobby. I think I returned to certain hobbies with like a renewed interest, like bullet journaling. Watching bullet journal content like brought me a lot of joy this year. and figuring out what I want to do for my 2021 bullet journal brought me a lot of joy this year, even way before people started posting their 2021 plan with me's. I did want to get back into knitting, but I wound up not because I was doing all this writing, which I'm not going to complain about at all because I'm very happy with that outcome. And reading, I fell back in love with reading after maybe a year and a half of not loving reading. In 2020, I read a lot fewer books because of all the writing I was doing, but the ones that I read, I feel like I really absorbed, which was great. So yeah, I didn't pick up a new thing, but I kind of revisited old things. What would you tell your past January 2020 self to prepare for the year ahead? I mean, probably warn her that she's gonna have a heartbreak early on in the year and that the world is gonna go insane and that it's okay to feel lonely, but let her know that she's gonna make a bunch of new friends. What are 3 positive words you can focus on for 2021? I think reflect is one, because I want to start doing morning pages in my bullet journal every day. Another would be create, because I just want to keep creating and it's brought me so much joy in 2020, crazy year as it was, that I want to bring that into 2021, but better, obviously. And for a third word, I think rest, because I have learned to appreciate quieter moments because of 2020. I'm someone who has always, except for the year that I was really, really depressed during my freshman year of college, I was constantly doing something and always doing something. And it's not that I always felt like I had to be doing something, but I always wanted to do something. But I've now learned that sometimes it's nice to not do anything and just sit and relax. Whether, I'm lying on my bed on my own or I'm sitting on the couch with my dog next to me. It's okay to not do something every single moment. And finally, the people I'm going to tag are Keylin Rivers, Kavanaugh, and Grapefry, and I know I'm giving you guys very little time, so it's okay if you post it in the new year. I apologize for the short notice. And that is the end of this long double tag video. I hope you liked it. I will be making a lot of videos in the new year. I haven't fully decided on a uploading schedule yet because the one that I currently have written down I think will burn me out very quickly. So I need to readjust, but you can expect at least 4 videos a month from me covering writing and musical theater, and during the Camp NaNoWriMo months and official NaNoWriMo month, I will be doing weekly vlogs instead of most of my other content. If you are looking forward to that and are interested, please don't forget to hit subscribe down below and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos from me. I also host writing sprints every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. For the first full week in January, I am taking part in the Wright Mama's Creative Kickstart Camp and have added in extra writing sprints for every single day from the 3rd to the 10th at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on my channel. So if my Sunday time doesn't work for you, you have 6 other opportunities that you can come on over and plant pretty trees with me through the forest app. Bye!